Buddy, what's up? YouTube, how are you? We're live on Twitch right now, as usual when I record these videos because I remember them after I get started doing other stuff. I'm not busy at all. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about all the information that has come out about Shadowkeep and how power progression is going to work, because it seems like there's a lot of confusion, okay, about what the power cap is, how everything's going to work, how am I gonna, progress my character, and like seriously, when am I gonna get to make out with Zavala? Those are the questions that I see all the time on my Twitter feed. So, to everybody and that one guy that really wants to make out with Zavala, here's some answers for you. All right. So, step one, in the director's cut post that Luke Smith posted. Hi, Luke. He talked about the power cap being 960, and then talked about ways to progress even beyond that via pinnacle activities and other things like that. And then, yesterday, along with all the other stuff that dropped, the big kerfuffle is that it says new max light 960. Which suddenly now everyone is started. Everyone started freaking out. Everyone's like, "Oh God, I am so I'm having a heckin' concern. I'm having a heckin' worry. Now I feel like I don't know what's real. I don't know what's happening. I don't know anything about any of that, and I'm scared." Okay, here's what's going on. I think that it is very, very likely that the new power cap based solely on your gear, is going to be 960. However, based off of things written about the way the artifacts function and about how you're going to get this native power increase with everything as you level, and Bungie has said that the power increase on a couple streams with IGN, they have stated specifically that the power increase from your artifact is technically not capped. So how these things interplay is the big question, right? The artifacts are going to be reset every season, but the artifacts do give a base increase to your Guardian's power, the amount of damage that you put out and the amount of damage reduction when you're being attacked. So the question then becomes, how does all this work together, and what is the best way for me to progress in power and in strength and to make my Guardian badass motherfucker, once Shadowkeep drops? And I think that instead of overcomplicating it by trying to look at all these systems and how they could all work together, I think the answer is actually kind of simple. And that's, you're going to go ahead and you're going to be a kick-ass Guardian, and you're going to progress your power the same way that you always have, up to about, 960. So that's going to be pinnacle activities. Luke did make mention that there will be, the path to 960 on your armor and everything is going to be pretty exclusive to pinnacle activities. He mentioned, raids. He mentioned a redacted feature. And he mentioned Iron Banner. So that's there for everybody. That's a nice, more casual approach to it. So, first, you're going to hit 960. You're going to hit 960 by playing the video game, playing some pinnacle activities. Push yourself beyond 960, and I know that this is going to come as a stretch. It's going to be hard. It's going to hurt your brain, and it's going to be tough to move beyond that. You're going to just have to keep playing the game. You'll have to play the game. So the artifact levels up by getting experience. The things they've shown about is like something like 55,000 experience per one level on your artifact, and then that's going to keep cycling up. Now, whether the artifact is going to have true impression on your power, you know, if it's going to be another part of the full math, or if it's just going to be a base elevation of what you're doing, I think that's where like things are a little hazy, and I'm sure we'll get some more information out there soon, and everyone will be like, oh, see, you got it. And I'm sure 10 months from now, someone's going to find this YouTube video and be like, this guy's wrong. He's wrong. I saw it. He's wrong. And that's okay. I'm okay if I'm wrong. But I think that's incredibly interesting. The thing that makes me excited is that with Shadowkeep and with the Season of Undying, we're getting two divergent storylines. Okay. One of them is with the Vex, which, you know, we haven't fought them in a long ass time. But the second one is obviously with the Hive again. And if we can get to power level, let's say 1,000 or 999 or above, and then you go solo the Shattered Throne, you supposedly will get the true ending of the Shattered Throne. I think that's actually killing Dull and Karu. I think that's actually killing Dull and Karu and provoking Savathun to come to the galaxy that we're in instead of fucking with us from far away. That's from a piece of lore where Medusa, who's this double agent inside of this side of like a Kira and a Vex mind. It's like very complicated, but basically the lore that you're reading when you read that is every timeline laid out in front of you, and you're seeing time in that lore piece like a Vex. So it's actually a perfect point for us to do this, because we'll have all of these encounters with the Vex, and we'll see how weird and wibbly wobbly timey-wimey can get. And then we'll figure shit out. And there's a lot of different lore explanations. There's a lot of different things that people want, think about Medusa and that whole set of lore, the truth to power lore. It could be, maybe it's Savathun. She's trying to trick us. But I don't think so. We can talk about that. We can talk about that in another video, because that's not related to power. That's not related to power at all. But to get back to the point of the video, going forward in Shadowkeep and going forward, in the Season of Undying and seasons beyond that, I think that Bungie has, at this point, they've laid out what is essentially a Paragon system, which is dope. It's a system that allows you to infinitely level your character inside of a season so that you can become incredibly powerful during that season. And then when it's time to move forward, you reset your Paragon level, you reset your artifact level, you get a new artifact, and then you have to go back in the game and chase that power again. I have been wanting, and if you've been watching me for a long time, if you go back and watch some old YouTube videos, I've made this suggestion multiple times. This idea, this concept that we as Guardians, should have some sort of infinite growth potential inside of the way that we wield our light and things that make us stronger. I am really excited to see how the artifact system plays out going forward. Not only is it a great system that allows us to, have some potentially really overpowered mods, but it's a way for Bungie to give you a thing to chase all the time, every time you log in. 2 months into Season of the Undying and Shadowkeep, you'll probably have everything finished, unless they have just an assload of content that they're going to launch, which is always possible. But you'll probably have everything finished. You probably have the raid done. You probably maybe chase 1 or 2 exotics. You're probably going to, maybe you'll be chasing after a couple cosmetics. Maybe you're trying to unlock some stuff for your artifact. But if you have literally everything in the game, you could log in every day and you can still progress your character's power via the artifact. And that is something that Destiny has never had. Destiny has never had a unending chase. And so the introduction of the artifact has me excited, because along with the whole, you can play it forever, you can fight forever Guardian, you can get really strong. But I think it's actually going to do really, really great stuff for the player base. It's going to give people a reason to jump back into Crucible after 2 months if they have the pinnacle weapon. It's going to give you a reason to raid with your buds and get you know, more experience to work towards your artifact. And I'm sure there's going to be some quests locked in there as well. And the only tweaking thing, like the only thing that I can think of right now with artifacts and power progression and getting as strong as you possibly can is this. Instead of trying to tune the entire game around chasing specific items and trying to figure out which item is the most important and how much time and effort should we, you know, lock this behind or time gate it, which is everyone's least favorite thing, unless it's done right. Now, going forward, Bungie will kind of only really need to tune a couple of statistics. If they feel like they have everything else nailed in for the long-term chase on artifacts and your power growth and progression as a Guardian, it just is basically making sure that the amount of experience that you're given through all of the various activities is well balanced. And I personally hope they do a good job with that, because I'd hate to be 2 months into Shadowkeep and stream the game, and then everyone comes in and they're like, excuse me, streamer, why aren't you playing Crucible? Because it is the fastest way to level your artifact. Okay. You know, I really do hope that they get the XP balance right. But if they don't, it's an easy tweak. And it's not going to be something, and it's not going to be something that is going to piss off the entire player base. If they're like, hey, we noticed that power progression is a little bit too fast in Crucible, so we're going to slow down the experience curve there. Yeah, there you go. People in chat are mad. They're saying that this video is rambly, and I would like to say that this video is it's a full video, chat. Okay, it's full. It's got all the information, and while you may have gotten all the information you wanted in the first 1 minute, because I do that shit because I'm a nice guy, there's some guy that's gonna watch to the end and he's gonna be like, your point, I don't believe it. And then 9 minutes later they'll go, I guess you're right. Thumbs down. And if you're that guy, I appreciate you. Thank you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. We're live on Twitch. If you want to come hang out, we're live every day. All that good shit. And yeah, those are my thoughts on power progression and how it's going to work at Shadowkeep. And I'd love to know yours, or see if you got any more questions, or I don't know, man, if you got a great chocolate chip cookie recipe, just drop it in the comments. Awesome.